One sunny day, like any other day, me and my friends were playing football at recess. Our team had the ball close to the end zone. Josh was the quarterback. He yelled, "Hike!" I ran wide and cut in to fool my guard. It worked. All I had to do was pass the safety. I used my speed to pass the safety. Now I was sprinting towards the corner of the touchdown zone. Josh threw the ball up in the air going towards the post. Thump! My head hit the pole hard. As soon as I lifted my head away from the pole, it started to bleed hard. I ran to Mr. Williams, and he already had come out towards the track. He said, "Ben, put your hand over on your head to try to stop the bleeding." "Okay," I said. We rushed into the office, and I went to go lay down on the bed. The office lady called the school nurse to come to take a look at me. The school nurse put some padding on my head and told me to hold it there. She told me I was going to need stitches. My mom came from her work to come pick me up and take me to the kids' hospital. On the ride there, she told me to take some Tylenol because my blood sugar was dropping. We signed into the hospital. A lady came with me in less than 10 minutes and told me to put this thing on my head to numb it so it wouldn't hurt when I got the stitches in my head. It really stung when the numbing stuff hit my cut. It felt like a wasp just stung me. In the first 5 minutes, me and my mom were all alone. Then a lady came with a flip book. She said it would be a long time before I got my stitches in my head, so she said she was going to share a book with me. We went through the book like a rocket. She was right. It was not going to hurt to get my stitches in my head. I had to wait 2 more hours before they were ready for me. The lady led me to my room. I was really scared to get stitches in my head, even though it was not the first time I got stitches in my head. There was a guy and a girl. The guy's name was Chris. The girl's name was Allie. They told me to lay down on the hospital. I was facing the wrong way on the hospital bed, so Allie told me to face the other way. Chris said I could watch TV for a while because they needed some time before we got down to business. I turned on the sports center for the whole time. It only took 5 minutes before they were ready to go. I got into position. I positioned myself for the doctors to do the first stitch. Just then, a lady walked into the room with a ton of balls. She said they were for when I was scared. Chris said we don't need them right now, so just set them down on the hospital bed. The lady set them down on the hospital bed and left. Allie explained that they needed to numb it up some more. She said instead of medicine, they were going to spray it on. I was still worried about getting stitches in my head. Then Chris took out a big squirt gun-like thing. He said he needed to do it about 5 times. He also told me each time he did it, it was 10 ounces sprayed on. When he did the first time, it felt like an electric blue shock went through my whole body. After he finished, he told me to take some more Tylenol before they did the stitches. I took the Tylenol, and I had some of my mom's water from her bottle. That made me feel a lot better. Allie put the towel over my head. She put in the first stitch in my head. I thought it would hurt, but all I felt was a tap. I was amazed by the doctor's work. It hurt a little more each time they did it. Me and my mom were walking to the car. I was so happy it was over. The doctors told me to keep in the stitches in my head for 1 whole week and don't take a shower for 2 days. Then he said it was okay to let my mom take them out. I said okay, but it did not sound like a good idea. On the drive home, we listened to Percy Jackson. When we got home, I put my PJs on and watched and jumped on the couch. I put on SportsCenter and watched it for 30 minutes. Then I grew drowsy and walked upstairs to go to sleep.